Good morning from St Moritz. You are listening to Monocle on Sunday, a very special edition. I am Tyler Brûlé. Coming up on today's program, this is a weekend of art up here in St Moritz. I'm very happy to say that our resident art critic, advisor, consultant, Juliet Linley is here because you are so art, aren't you?
I am so art, starting with my furry boots and continuing
Furry
all
what?
the way through.
Listeners?
Boots.
Boots, okay, good.
Boots from the 70s, very vintage. And yes, my house is full of art.
Yeah, and there goes the 601 just went by, listeners. We have to warn you, on this program, we are on a very, very busy street right in front of Hotel Hauser. We're just below the Hotel Stefani. Just quickly, Julia, just maybe sort of prime our
Paint a
listeners.
picture.
How has the season been up here? Paint that picture.
I'm painting the picture of this amazing Monocle studio up in the mountains. It's the only one, ladies and gentlemen. It's the first ever. And it's been just incredible to see how much of St Moritz is not linked to skiing or bobsledding. I always associated it with winter sports. No, ladies and gentlemen. Art, design, fabulous people, and amazing radio broadcasters like the one sitting next to me.
And also, but we are in the Alps. There is a lot of sport going on the other side of the border. Of course, the Winter Olympics are on full steam. We're going to be crossing the Alps to talk about that. It is the 15th of February, 2026, live from St Moritz. This is Monocle on Sunday.
Live from St Moritz, this is Monocle on Sunday with Tyler Brûlé.
And good morning from St Moritz. We have an amazingly sunny morning here, which is absolutely lovely. I've got a very sunny Juliet Linley beside me as well. Guten Morgen, buongiorno, nice to see you.
Buongiorno, allegra. The sun really is blessing us because the forecast was for like below 50.
No, I mean, if this would have been yesterday morning, it was
so
absolutely, it was snowing yesterday. It was gorgeous yesterday, but here we've got sunshine just for you with your heated, they are heated gloves.
They are heated gloves.
She's got gloves with, I don't know.
Bright red light on them.
Yeah, bright red light on the top, so they see you coming.
But I'd like to appeal to Chanel to maybe make something far more elegant, but heated electronically.
I'm sure Coco Neige probably has something like that just for you. We're in the midst of what has really become an art weekend up here, and I'm very, very happy to say that Giorgio Pace is here with a new concept just around the corner, 2 hotels away. Very nice to see you. Good morning.
Good morning, my dear. How are you?
I'm very well. Now, listen, it's very hard to miss all of the out-of-home advertising that you have for your Pavillon project. Tell our listeners what you've cooked up for, and is this going to be sort of a roving roadshow like before? How is this going to evolve?
Well, this idea came a few years ago because both the tourism office and the city of St Moritz asked me to develop a cultural program for the year. And before, of course, I was involved with something else and I couldn't really have the time. And then from July I was free and I thought, why not to help the city? And the problem is the city doesn't have a cultural center. So I proposed the mayor and the tourism office to build a pavilion. That's why I call their pavilion. There is a German article for the, and pavilion is an English word because in St Moritz, as you know, they speak in German and English. The pavilion will be a proper structure in St Moritz Bad one day, I hope soon. But in the meantime, I'm preparing the field that everybody knows, and in 4 years' time will be this structure. And the first project is called Singular Voices, which is 1 month and 1 week, 5 days exhibitions of solo artists and solo designers.
And it is housed inside the former Hotel Eden. So it's very different now to its former glory days. When I visited the pavilion, it's so interesting to see this juxtaposition between this dilapidated almost state that it's in now under complete reconstruction and then the art. I loved, for instance, the Vanessa Bicroft, and I loved also seeing the little candy store with the jewels. Can you walk us quickly through just those 2 artists, for instance?
Well, Suzanne Sees is a Swiss jewelry designer. She's very creative, as you can see. I consider a new jar. And Vanessa Bicroft is an artist from Italy, but she lives in Los Angeles for the past 30 years. What you saw is like a museum presentation in this beautiful old room with her famous photography from different performances she did in Italy. And also those beautiful heads in ceramic and bronze and terracotta.
I'm just curious. So here we are, middle of February, and as you said, this is a running program. So in your conversation with the community, with St Moritz Tourism, how does this evolve across the year? Because of course we know the challenges of alpine resorts is they have literally their peaks and troughs where things get quieter, etc. So how do you sustain it? Do you go quiet for a while and then bounce back?
Well, this year I could only organize 4 events, which is already a lot. So this is the first one. As I told you, it lasts 1 month and a few more days. Then in July, I will organize the first flower show. Will be the first weekend in July in the hotel, in the garden opposite Hotel Kempinski. Then the weekend
An outdoor flower show.
Outdoor flower show, yes.
To rival the Chelsea flower show, like
kind of, yes.
But with alpine flowers, maybe.
Yes. And then it would be an opera, 3 days performance of opera in the theater of the Badrut Palace. And then in December, I will do the first chocolate exhibition.
Oh my God, that sounds amazing, Tyler.
So
How does the chocolate exhibition look in an artistic
Well, he doesn't know yet because it's still 9 months away, 10 months away.
Yeah. You have to come back.
I'm curious, just very, very quickly, when we look at what is being programmed, it's this very interesting intersection though between also being, let's say, culture, high culture, but also commerce as well. This is about an exchange at the same time. That
absolutely.
People should be here to present their wares, but also the people coming to this resort, to this village, to consume as well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But also I always think of locals. For me, locals are as important as the tourists, as the people that are living here, because I always thought to offer something for them as well. That's why I thought flowers, everybody loves flowers, and chocolate, even the children. So, I thought for like a much wider program for this year. Then next year, maybe I could increase more, because as you know, some hotels, they will open for a longer period of time. So I had to think something already for June. The palace already told me they will be open in June, from June. So this year is too short time. But I mean, next year definitely I will think of something for June as well.
Are people already flocking to you, asking to take part in the different?
Absolutely.
From where are they coming from?
From all over the world.
Give me
really.
some examples.
I mean, I saw people from Brazil, from Dubai, from Beirut, lots from New York as well. A lot of Americans now are coming back to St Moritz. And then, of course, European countries, from Italy to Switzerland to Germany to all the Scandinavian countries, a lot of Scandinavian people here. So, no, I'm very glad. And top quality of people.
I'm curious about just also, well, when we talk about the people, the quality of the guest, but also the type of mood that people are in, rather than catching them when they might be in Madrid, rather than catching them when they might be in New York. Is there a different type of interaction, even a different type of transaction that happens up at this altitude versus what might happen in the lowlands?
Well, here I think people, they have much more time. Time is precious, as you know. And I feel, because I open for more than a month, I don't feel really a competition. Yes, there are a lot of other events, but they see the differences between what I thought and create for this pavilion than other events which are more fast, a few days and then run away. Here the people have time to come back, to relax, and it's very peaceful, as you could see.
Absolutely. And it's called Singular Voices.
Yes.
And okay, why did you choose that name? And also I don't know if it's every day, but very regularly, you're interviewing actually the artists. Talk me through the format that you've chosen to interact more with.
Well, the format is that, as I said, I want to choose singular voices because it's singular exhibitions of solo artists and designers.
Okay.
At the beginning, it was very hard for people to stay 1 month and more with me. It's a challenge. But it works. I mean, people see the difference and see the people, they come back and they have time. And of course, I have to do kind of private tour or talks to everybody. And of course, I thought, because this is not only an exhibition voyage, but it's also like a cultural and didactic experience. So that's why I do a lot of conversation with the artists, with the designers, with the curators, with collectors, with journalists. So it's a very busy, unfortunately for me, month, but I see that it's really receptive and people love that.
Giorgio Pace, we have to let you go. We want to keep you on schedule. We're in Switzerland. We want to run this to time. Great having you on the program.
Thank you.
It is just 12 minutes, almost 13 minutes past 10 here in St Moritz. You're listening to Monocle on Sunday with me, Tyler Brûlé. I'm very happy to say that Juliet Linley's here. Look at just on cue. Listen to that background noise. I mean, not noise. I mean, it's a bit of a
jingling of a horse-drawn carriage.
Yeah, a little bit of a clip-clop of a horse-drawn carriage going by.
Yeah, how often do you take those?
Very rarely. I mean, there was a moment, I think, when we were first sort of up here that we were having, when relatives and friends would come and visit, you would go and book a sleigh.
And ride up to one of the little mountains.
How often do you do it?
It's way too expensive for me, Tyler. I cannot possibly afford to take my entire family on a horse-drawn carriage in St Moritz more than once.
Okay, can you afford to take them across the Alps, though, to the Olympics?
Yes.
To Cortina. Very close by to Livigno, or just to Milano. We're joining our Ed Stalker, our bureau chief, our editor, who is standing by for us there this morning. Buongiorno, good morning, Ed.
Good morning, Tyler. It's a beautiful sunny day. The fog is cleared in Milan.
Okay, this is good news at this time of year, where we know it tends to hang for quite a while. Just to bring us up to speed, of course, we were talking on at the end of the week, just doing a bit of a medals count. Some countries maybe not doing surprisingly well, but I would say there must be much excitement in Brazil, though. There we had our Fernando Augusto Pacheco talking about whether this could be the moment that Brazil could walk away with a gold medal, and they did in the giant slalom yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, amazing news. We don't want to mention Canada, right? That's still striving to get a gold medal in these games. But yeah, I mean, fantastic. This is Pinheiro Barata, and of course, he did. The slight caveat is that he represented Norway before switching allegiances. But it's a big day. It's the first time a South American nation has won in this competition, in this skiing competition. So it's a big day for South America, and exciting stuff. And obviously, it's pretty good news for the home team as well, if you like, Tyler. Italy's been doing amazingly well, and more opportunities for medals today, and even Great Britain, that has been struggling a bit in these games, managed to win a gold over the weekend in the skeleton. So that's good news. Hopefully to add to that. Only single gold at the moment.
Yeah, we won't talk about Canada's very poor performance within the G7. There's going to be, I think, many workshops done around this. We've got Juliet Linley here, as you know. Juliet, what is the Linley household? What do they get excited about? What are they watching? Are they watching? Do you only care about
Do you want to have a giggle?
Games? Okay.
I mean, there is a downhill skier from Trinidad and Tobago, and I wanted to just ask Ed if he'd managed to catch sight of her. She's at university in the U.S., but she is skiing for Trinidad and Tobago. Ed?
I haven't yet seen that.
Not yet seen her.
Well, also, he's in Milan as well, so I mean, there's no skiing events in Milan, so
yeah,
he wouldn't see her.
Limited
Juliet,
opportunities here. I'm more restricted to ice hockey and speed skating here.
True. And the Finns did very well yesterday. They trounced Italy.
Did they?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Jordan Stoltz is doing what, and in the speed skating, Jordan Stoltz is doing amazingly. 2 Olympic records in that, winning in the 500 and the 1,000 meter speed skating. So I've been following that closely.
Ed, as is often the case, the host cities, it takes a while for them to warm up. The rest of the world is waiting for the Olympics to start. There was even that sort of sense in Paris as well. But I would certainly say there's 3 or 4 days running up to the start of the Paris Games. Of course, these are much more concentrated games as well. I mean, obviously, this is a little bit more diffuse given the number of places, of course, that these Winter Olympics are being held. Has the mood changed in the last week in Milan, would you say? Does it feel there's more of a sense of the Olympics, or is it pretty much as it was 24 hours before the opening ceremony started?
Yeah, I know. You and I, we talked about it a little bit before, didn't we, Tyler, about the sort of mood in the run-up to the Games. Certainly a few weeks before the Olympics kicked off, you sort of almost wouldn't have known it. And then there was a definite gear change. Even a few days before the Olympics started, the mood changed. You started to notice even more adverts, more, I guess, visual signifiers. There's a bit of a traffic incident going on here, you might have heard. There's been a change in the last few days before the Games, certainly. And the mood is great. I mean, obviously, like you said, it's very different to Paris in the sense that Milan is a much smaller city, and it's, spread out, these games, over the whole of northern Italy. The fact, I think, that, the venues that we're talking about, Santa Giulia for the ice hockey, the arena there, the road trade fair, which of course is where Salone del Mobile is held, which has been turned into this speed skating and ice hockey arena. The fact that they're not in the centre of town means that there's not a concentration, I guess, of an Olympic activity, although there are places in the centre where you can go, and the Triennale Museum has got a big screen, that is Casa Italia. So in some ways you have to know where to go, and there's a lot of honking going on this Sunday morning.
Off the road. We don't want to lose you.
We've got horses.
Yeah, we've just got sort of rather sort of slow sleighs clip-clopping up the hill. And very good to check in with you. Of course, we'll listen, we're with you across the week from Milan at the top of your very nice tower. That is our Ed Stalker joining us from Milan, 18 minutes past the hour. That'd be the hour of 10, wouldn't it, Juliet? Here in St Moritz. Maybe let everybody in on what is Juliet Linley's day an average day in St Moritz look like?
Well, today is the 19th birthday of Monocle. Can we just say that? 15th of February 2007. It's also the 19th birthday of our daughter. So I will be going to Trutz, and I know that that's one of your favorite watering holes or eating spots above the Suvretta. And then I am not skiing today, but usually I would be skiing. I've discovered the joys of early morning skiing. I never thought I'd say that, but I just love opening on the piece when no one else has gone on the fresh snow.
Okay.
Don't look so sick.
No, I'm not. I mean, but why no? But it's a beautiful day today, so why no skiing today?
Because I'm here, and I sent the entire family
okay,
up
yeah,
on the slopes.
and you missed.
And are you gonna have a mountain lunch?
No, we're heading back to Zurich. But before that, I'm very happy to say that Marijana Jakic is here, who's the CEO, the leader, the chief of St Moritz Tourism.
Wow.
Yeah, wow.
What an introduction.
I know, and is really sort of you could say the godmother of everything that happens up here in terms of not just tourism, but also the overall programming when it comes to sort of welcoming the world here. Let's do a temperature check with you. The season, I guess, really got underway, of course, back end of November. Here we are, through February. How's it been so far?
It has been great. So we have had one of the best seasons again in winter. In St Moritz, I tend to say that I should do a bet on summer. Johannes Badrut in 1864 did a bet on winter. So originally St Moritz was a summer destination, and then he did the bet that people should come in winter. And I'm really here that I say that winter is going so well. We have had really, again, record numbers. We have had in the last, I would say 10 years, 5 years, investments in 5-star hotels. Now also in 3- and 4-star hotels. And I think we should bet on summer. And we are, focusing more on summer today than we did that maybe 5 years ago.
On what kind of activities can I look forward to in the summer? I mean, my husband goes on about mountain biking. That's not rocking my boat. What other things are we going to attract people to St. Moritz within?
I think the combination, I think it's the entire combination. St. Moritz is, it's an alpine destination. You have biking, but I think the combination between the offer that we have, the infrastructure, I would say comparable to a small miniature city. It's London city, but on 1,856 meters, and I think that makes the difference. So, but then you can do the biking, you can do the sailing, you can do the hiking in summer. You can jump in one of our beautiful lakes, and I think this combination makes it so special. So it's not less in summer about. I think we are much more diverse in summer than we are in winter, so there is much more to do. But I think what makes St Moritz so special is the combination between this miniature city, comparable to other cities, but then surrounded by this beautiful nature and the sun, and this still on 1,856 meters. I think that's.
And when you say compared to London, let's say, so can I look forward to maybe seeing some musicals in St. Moritz, or maybe going, we mentioned opera coming up.
Yes.
Giorgio Pace mentioned that.
Yeah.
So more cultural things.
Yes, we are developing the entire cultural space. We have founded also a cultural foundation where we are really going to extend the seasons, not only in summer, but during the entire year. And one thing is for sure, opera theaters. We have in our happening just right now. A theater made by young people here from St Moritz at the Verva, who is the swimming pool of the town, which is in reconstruction right now. They use that as their theater space, and hopefully then in summer operas. And
a jazz festival, which we shouldn't forget about as well, which has been around for a while as well.
And then we will have repositioned the Gourmet Festival. So it usually happen in winter during the highest season. So we are moving that to August, reshaping it, rebranding it. We want to do more outdoors, on less focus on star cuisine, but more on the experience. So this is also happening end of August. Yeah, and I actually prefer summer than winter.
I'm curious. We've been through this. You could maybe say 2 years already off the back of the pandemic, about this notion of over-tourism, and that no matter where you sort of look in the world, you have locals complaining that there's too much traffic, there's too many people on the streets, etc. I wonder what your view is, because also I feel people have a short memory as well, because let's think about the pandemic when there was no tourism. Should everyone calm down a little bit, or do you think there is a real relationship between trying to sort of course, address the needs of locals, but also remembering this place functions because of tourism?
So when we look at St Moritz, so 10 years ago we had a tax income of 50 million Swiss francs. Today we are at 120 million Swiss francs. So in general, the city is doing great. This is like a company. So we doubled in everything, in infrastructure, in overnight stays, in guests, not entirely, but this machine is really working well. And I think maybe 10 years ago, the need of a local has been a different one than it is today. Today, we all tend to go more towards purpose and meaningfulness, and everything what we do should make sense at the end. So maybe 10 years or 20 years ago, tourism was all about cash in, and I think this development of the tourism for the future, for the guests, but also for the local people, will play a very important role in St Moritz as well. And I can understand locals complaining, but in St Moritz this is about 4 days a year, and it's not every day that we are fully booked. So our occupancy rate of the hotels is still at average of 60%. So we are not at the limit. But I'm a local. I grew up here. My parents worked in hospitality, so I can very well understand what's the problematic, and I think also the future of destination management goes more towards, caring, taking care, really looking where is it too much and where is less. So reallocating the resources and really looking that everything works well together. I think a destination without a local population is not a destination anymore, and that's very important for us.
But would you say that St Moritz has a lot of migrant workers, or people who are coming from abroad just for the season and then leave, as opposed to locals who are living here year-round and sending their kids to schools here and everything?
Yeah, we have a lot of local people in St Moritz with immigrational background. We have, I think, the number one name in St Moritz is Da Silva, which is a Portuguese name. And then we have in winter a lot of exchange with many other summer destinations. So, for example, Capri, if you go to the Vadruz lobby, you will see a lot of people from Sardinia, from Cala di Volpe, serving in the lobby. But they do the same in summer in Sardinia. So that's a plus for us that we can have. And then we are next to Italy. Then we have really daily workers coming to the valley and then living the same day.
So when you look at, and if we could eavesdrop in on your board meetings, and Marijana is standing in front of her board members, what's on your wish list? If you think, okay, these are some things that we need to do because you've done well, lots of Swiss francs in the vault here. That's a good thing. But what do you need to do next? And when you look at, and also the competition, of course, you're not just right now. You're not competing with winter destinations. It's summer. It's people's attention. What do you need to do?
So one thing on my wish list is really developing the culture during the entire year, and then rejuvenation of the brand and of the experience. I think we are now at the level where the pricing in winter especially is quite high, so it's really sometimes difficult for young people to afford what is going on here. So my wish list would include really offers for the Gen Z. My son is 16 years old, and they are for sure fascinated by this world, but the access to it is not always.
Music to your kids' ears, Juliet, right?
I'm so glad to hear that. There's so much silly money being thrown around, and you would like to see sort of more down to earth in a way. Yeah. And the fact that the ski passes are so expensive, we're not going to go into detail. Because
but they're not expensive compared to the US and elsewhere, are they?
No. And then if you stay 2 nights in one of our hotels, the ski pass is 47 Swiss francs.
But the problem is if they come and stay at my house, they got to pay full rate, or at Tyler's.
They should book a hotel.
Yeah, if there's
they can't afford it.
a residence fee. Marijana Jakic, it's wonderful seeing you. Great having you up here. It's just gone 10:29, coming up to 10:30. Here in St Moritz, you're with me, Tyler Brûlé, also Juliet Linley is here. We've got another 30 minutes, Juliet, of fantastic guests. Great conversation. I think also expanding on the areas, of course, of culture, and not to mention what else is happening, of course, in the Alps in general. But I'm very happy to say that it's time to head back to London. I believe our Emma Nelson is there with the news. Emma.
Thank you very much indeed, Tyler. 5 European countries say tests on the body of the Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny show it's likely he was killed using a poison developed from a deadly toxin found in an Ecuadorian dart frog. Russia has called it a planted story to distract from the West's problems. European leaders at the Munich Security Conference have responded positively to Washington's overtures. The US Secretary of State Marco Rubio stressed that Washington wants a strong Europe and a revitalized transatlantic relationship. Cuba has postponed its annual cigar festival until further notice, the latest casualty of the crisis caused by a US oil blockade. The festival usually brings in millions of dollars for Cuba's communist government. And residents of an English town popular with tourists could be fined if they leave their unsightly bins out on the street. Those living in Tewkesbury, a market town on the edge of the Cotswolds, have divided over the plans, with some criticising others for leaving their smelly rubbish bins in view of visitors. And those are the headlines. Back to you, Tyler, in St Moritz.
Thanks very much, Emma. How are things sounding in Studio One? Because we of course, we set these shows up. Our Desiree Bandley is, of course, she's here with a full sort of, technical suite. And even, as you probably heard as well, backup Starlink as well. So just in case Swisscom goes down, doesn't work, we can rely on the satellite powers of Mr. Musk if we need be. I'm not sure how quickly she could fire that up. But
indeed.
All sounding good your way?
It's all sounding good our way. It's sounding slightly noisier than Studio One, which is incredibly quiet this Sunday, and I don't think we could fit horses, buses, and a whole church into the space here at Midori House.
There's a lot of ambient sound here, isn't there?
I think we can adequately describe it as dynamic, and it is wonderful that you're all pressing on, and then we suddenly hear that the horses going by, and then how is the bus service going on at the moment as well? Because I think you need to describe to us a little bit. You're not exactly on a roundabout, are you?
No, we're just up from a roundabout. I would say we are maybe 10 meters from a roundabout. And this is, for our listeners, just painting you a bit of a picture here. There is a pedestrianised zone to St Moritz. There is, of course, you have one major thoroughfare. Well, it's actually two major thoroughfares, and they sort of break off at this roundabout. And one will take you sort of back down the hill towards the train station. You'll pass Badgett's Palace Hotel. Then the other one takes you then further up. It'll guide you up towards the Kulm. And much more of the village centre. Oh wait, Juliet's got some more
detail.
Okay, add the detail.
Fact.
Okay.
So Hotel Hauser, right in front of us, has a bar, it looks like a little sort of pavilion, which now is shuttered, but Emma, it's heaving From like 4 or 5 p.m. onwards, it's booming and everyone's dancing in the streets. They're drinking, they're eating. It's just so fun. So you're lucky you don't have that background noise this morning.
No, we couldn't broadcast here at 6 o'clock in the evening because we would definitely be drowned out. Emma, maybe we'll come back to you a little bit later in the program. Till then, it's just gone 17:33 in Hong Kong. It's 13:33 in Abu Dhabi, and of course it's 10:33 here in St Moritz. I'm very, very happy to say it's that time in the program, Juliet, when we spin the globe a little bit, or maybe we also sort of narrow in a little bit in terms of what is happening in the valley.
Yeah.
And that valley, of course, being the Engadine. I'm very happy to say that Sina Margarant is here from the Engadiner Post. This is the local newspaper of record, still on paper as well. How many times a week does the paper come out still in print?
We have 3 issues.
So 3 issues, and this
Tuesday,
is
Thursday,
and also I forget, trilingual or bilingual?
Bilingual.
Bilingual. So
yeah.
German and Romansh as well.
You were hoping for English.
No, I'm not hoping for English. No, but because I get the newspaper in my letterbox. But I was wondering whether there was Italian, but there's not Italian. It's only Romansh.
Wait, and Tyler, you read it in German or in Romansh when it's in your
Of course, Romansh, as you can well imagine.
You can translate most of the articles now. In
Exactly,
German. Yeah.
which is good. Anyway, good morning. Very nice to see you.
Good morning.
If we were to flip open the paper today, what are the major themes, topics that are dominating the news? What is concerning Engadiners, whether they're living in Pontresina, whether they're living in Celerina, whether they're living in St Moritz? What would you say are the lead stories for you right now?
It's everyday things, it's political things, it's events like the White Turf happening right now. It's the Olympics, of course, because we have like 10 athletes out of the Engadine Valley competing at the Olympics, which is huge for such a small valley. And then it's everyday things. It's things that local people are interested in, things that local people do around here. And, well, part of that, it's economy, it's politics, it's basically everything.
I'm curious because there is this global conversation right now, I'm sure you're part of it as well, which is about the evaporation of local news. You see this as a crisis, and whether it's in the US, whether it's in the UK, but it's this dominating theme of, yes, we've got these big, in many ways, powerful global brands or national brands, and yet this evaporation of trusted sources that can, of course, deal with the affairs and the interests of the community, be they political, be they cultural, be they sport. In terms of your responsibility that you see as well, balancing that as well, of course, looking, of course, beyond the peaks to what's happening elsewhere in the canton, as much as sort of focusing on what it says at the front paper, the Engadiner Post. What's that tension like for you?
Not very easy, to be honest. It's a lot of talk about it right now, but for us, it's very important. As our company, as our media house, I think we're against it. Because especially we have the Romansh language. We need to focus on the Romansh language. Nobody else in this country does it, except for the national broadcaster. And without them, there wouldn't be many news or many information out of this valley or other valleys of the canton. So it's very important that we know and people know that good journalism and good work has its price.
What are the kind of... A lot of people would imagine St. Moritz being this exclusive luxury place. But as we know, exactly, the people who read your newspapers, who read it in Romansh or in German, are the locals. And there's a discrepancy between the life that they live and the life that is perceived by people abroad of what St. Moritz is. Is there a degree of resentment between the local population? Or is there a degree of just embracing the fact that they bring material wealth? I want to know how the two sort of worlds coexist and how you, with your newspaper, deal with that.
Well, our newspaper will be half empty without it, for sure, because what the local people, the local community do, it's a huge part, but it's not everything. St. Moritz and the Engadine Valley wouldn't be the same without all of that, without the tourism, without the people that come here, bring the money. It's economically very important. So, but sometimes it's a bit tricky. Let's say it comes down to several weeks of the year, let's say around Christmas, New Year's Eve, and then in February again. But I think people found a way to deal with it, to live with it, because it is coexisting.
And I'd love to know, do some of them escape during those Christmas?
Yes.
They do, right?
I do.
You
for
do?
example.
Where do you
Yeah.
go? To the sun?
I wasn't born and raised here, so my parents, they live close to Chur, the capital of the
Yep.
canton, and I go there because it's chaotic and it's noisy, and you can't really go where you want to go as a local because everything is busy and there's always people and yeah.
It's interesting, as Marijana Jakic was saying earlier, I mean, it does become a big city. It becomes like a big city with all of its problems and the pluses as well. But you could say, yeah, it gets gridlocked, as we know, etc. I'm just curious, and maybe just moving off the alpine St Moritz theme, but more just to the world of being a small media house. I'm curious, we're coming up to that time of year. Graduation season will soon be upon us. What's it like attracting talent? Is it easy to find, especially when you talk about Romansh? You're one of the, if I'm a young journalist and I'm from a Romansh family, I can either go to, as you said, work for the national broadcaster, or I can come to you. Easy finding talent today?
Yes.
Do young people want to be journalists and in the Romansh language, or of course also in German in your title as well?
Not so much, I think. Well, maybe I'm not in the right position to say that because I don't deal with job applications and stuff like that, but it is hard to find. I mean, you will find talent, but you will not find young and talented and good journalists. So you kind of have to build them up, and that's the job we have to do, or we try to do. We have 2 or 3 people, editors, who write in Romansh. So it's 3 people for 2 valleys. So it's not an easy job. And I think maybe for young people, the national broadcasters with television, with radio and online media is a bit more attractive than just a print paper.
For sure. I'm wondering whether we can start internships for the young people in Zurich to come out here and be writing for you.
I mean, I think it's fascinating how you say as well that also you have to bring people in. Maybe they're not the top, but part of your job, of course, is to train people up as well. We always sort of forget that. Yeah, maybe you're not born a good writer. I do believe you can either write or you can't. But of course, there are tools of the trade that we know that happen in a newsroom that can be taught, that people can learn. We have buses going by, listeners, as well. We've got a double hit of the 606 and the 601 and the 601 coming by right now, heading to St Moritz Bahnhof. You mentioned the white turf. For people who hear that, who are not familiar, who might be listening in Wellington, New Zealand right now, or who are listening in potentially in London. What happens with the white turf here? What is that event?
It's the International Horse Races, and they started in 1907, so it's a very important event, a lot of tradition, yeah. It's 3 Sundays in February every year. They have different races. They have ski-earing, ski-earing? It's the horse and the rider is on the back.
Being towed.
Behind the back,
yeah.
Towed on skis.
Yes.
So you can only find that here in St Moritz, on skis.
Yeah.
So, and it's a very traditional event like the snow polo, and it's a lot of fun on the lake. Snow cricket is also happening right now. Yes.
And I'm curious, a lot of foreigners come for it. It's on Instagram. A lot of people are so many influencers taking pictures with all the fur coats, the classic cars, just 2 weekends ago. But what about the locals? Are they actually even going? Are they rolling their eyes?
They are. Yes.
They roll their eyes.
Yeah, it is part of it.
They're going that rolling
their
eyes.
There's a lot of fun on the lake. Okay. Where else can you get that? There's food, there is music, there is things happening, and there is you see people, and you can make fun of people. So it's a lot of fun to watch, not just the races.
No, that's where Juliet would be in the making fun corner.
It's a bit of a circus also.
It is a little bit.
Yeah.
Sina Margadant from the Engadiner Post. Wonderful having you. Have a good Sunday. Thank you very much.
You too.
You're listening to Monocle on Sunday. I'm here with Juliet Linley.
Juliet Linley is here.
Juliet Linley is. You're here for another week, aren't you?
I am indeed. Yes, it's our ski holiday.
Okay, so Zurich schools are off for another week. They're at the halfway point as well, and you have a full household up here.
Have a full household of teenagers. Yes, wish me luck. I was wondering whether you wanted to host a few.
No, can't. Heading back to the city as soon as we get off air right now. I'm happy to say that Olaf Ghona is joined us right now from the other side of the Alps. This is. And I say the other side of the Alps, across the border as well, from Austria. He is the newly minted head CEO, the boss of... President, yes, of Bad Gastein. And it's interesting. So, Olaf, here we had Marijana, one of your counterparts you know very well. She was talking about, St Moritz being this sort of little sort of urban oasis sort of city in the Alps. I've been to Bad Gastein. And you've really got a city. I mean, this is like you've got a mini metropolis. And good morning, by the way, great to see you. Just tell us a little bit about, for our listeners who are not familiar with Bad Gastein, what is it and what's happening there?
Yeah, thank you very much. Bad Gastein is very special. Yeah, it is. And indeed, it's a little city in the middle of the Alps. It's very unique because we have most of the buildings and the architecture is from around 1900. So they were built between 1880 and 1920. And then we have also the brutalism architecture from the 70s. Like there's a big Congress hall building in the middle of the center, close to the waterfall. It's amazing. It's like a starship.
So just, I'm curious about the history. Why this grandeur in a way? Because when you go down one of the main streets in sort of the Dorfzentrum, it has a scale of Vienna. It's not like they went and built little tiny shops, etc. You feel like you could sort of be off the Graben in Vienna. So what was happening at the start of the last century that of course that had this sort of power and energy behind it?
Yeah, so it started, I think the boom started around 1880. Yeah, it was a spa town, one of the grand spa towns in Europe. And the thermal water is of course the main reason, because all these kings and queens were coming to Bad Gastein at that time. And till the late 1920s, I would say. And in the 1950s also the winter sport became more popular, of course. And so it was always called like Monte Carlo of the Alps, Manhattan of the Alps. And then from 2000, when we started to work with Bad Gastein, it was becoming the Berlin of the Alps. So it changed a lot. So we invite a lot of artists from Berlin, and then we try to change also the image of Bad Gastein.
So you mentioned artists, and there is a comparison between St Moritz and Bad Gastein, specifically on the cultural, artistic front, am I right? St Moritz isn't all that unique, actually, because you also have a lot of designers and a lot of gallerists.
Yes, of course. Yeah, we have an art festival called Sommerfrische Kunst since 16 years in Bad Gastein. So we started with a residency program, and then we invite a lot of well-known artists like Jonathan Mese. We work with a lot of well-known galleries like Johann König and Ropatsch, and So every year we have a different program, and this year we also try to add design and architecture, because it's very important to Bad Gastein. Yeah. Bad Gastein is like, the buildings are so incredible and so unique. So that's the reason why we also want to add design and architecture.
So how are you going to make it a household name? Everyone knows Cortina, everyone knows St Moritz, everyone knows Aspen. I, to be honest, didn't know a lot about Bad Gastein until today. What are we going to do?
Yeah, that's the reason why I'm now the CEO of Bad Gastein Tourism, because I think that's, we did a lot in the past 20 years, and it was really on the radar of a lot of magazines and social media and so on, but it's still, for an international crowd, I think it's not so well known. Yeah.
So if you had a magic wand, what magic dust would you speak?
He does have a magic wand.
So what what are your plans?
My plan is, we have to go out. We have to be part of like events like Salon du Mobile and so on to show our village and to
I'm curious. When you think about the opportunity, so if we look around, and of course many of our listeners will know St Moritz, this is, as you said, the home of sort of modern winter sport. It has a lot of legacy, but also it has, when you talk about luxury, it's got this luxury infrastructure as well. There's 2 Moncler stores. There's not just one Prada store. There's 2 Prada stores, and all of the major brands are here. They're a big defining force of that. Of course, you have the hotels at that level as well. When you think of this type of resort, is this what listen, of course, you've got this great legacy. I mean, you are a grown-up, established place. But when you think of where it goes, does it follow the St Moritz model as a measure of success, having tons of LVMH shops? Or is it more having the right stores from Austria and across the border from Germany, potentially? What does it look like to you?
Yeah, I think it's the second one. So I think it would be nice to have different shops. I mean, you can buy at a Louis Vuitton shop everywhere in the world. You can go to Tokyo or Los Angeles or Milano or St Moritz, for example, or Kitzbühel. But I think it should be something different, something that you can only buy in that place in Bad Gastein. It would be great, yeah.
Tracht.
Not only Tracht as well, but
Bad Gastein is more about tuxedos than Tracht.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Right.
But and hoodies.
And then when you think of the type of audience that you want to be able to attract as well, you've got sort of the dream customer in mind, and also maybe, I mean, you mentioned Salone. Where do you see opportunities and markets to speak to? Because of course you're already very powerful with the domestic market, so Austrians, you've got Germans going, and you're popular with the Scandinavians as well.
Yes, Sweden is our third biggest market. Yeah, it's true. I think it's the creative class, from all over the world. I think that we want to create a place for all these people who are searching for something different. It's not like après-ski in Ischgl or just luxury. I think it's something else, something that not only, but I think Bad Gastein can offer you is like a place where you can also work and spend your holidays together. I think it's really...
And it's pretty glitzy.
Yeah. It's not tuxedos. No, but it's not glitzy. Because I think if you're glitzy, I think you think here. I think you think about glitzy and St Moritz. It's different. You have to, Juliet, you have to go.
I need to go. I want to
just on that, I want to. We have our sort of our resident Austria at large contributor, I think, also sitting back in London. Emma, you're listening to this as someone who spends a lot of time in that part of Austria. Not sure if you've been to Bad Gastein before, but I'm sure your ears perked up when we said Tracht and things. Your take on this, is this sort of made for the Nelson household?
Yes, absolutely. Well, I think the reason why you've crossed back to London may suggest that yes, it is. What I quite like is that ability to make you feel as a sense of place when you're somewhere, and there is nothing better than going into a Tracht shop to get that sense of place. Not just because it's fun and it's, from the outside it's sort of quite interesting and it's sort of like the most basic dress up, but the fact is that on a Sunday morning everybody puts their Tracht on and they go to church, and there's a real sense of local pride in that, and I absolutely adore that. It's brilliant. It sort of gives you a real sense that when you get up and you step out of the door, you know where you are, you know what you stand for. What happens in St Moritz with that, or is everybody skidding round a roundabout? No one, I suspect, is on a bus.
Well, no, because also we don't have a tradition of Tracht per se here. Now you have a lot of people who will wear a Janker, of course, which is high-collared jacket, which is of course traditional of many alpine regions, etc. That is maybe a bit of shorthand. I don't think there's. Well, you have women sort of. Juliet, I mean, you do. Juliet, Juliet does like a sort of a slightly alpine cut cardigan with maybe a horn button on it.
Yes.
Emma, you might have seen that as well.
There's a couple in my wardrobe as well that come out when I. Oh yes, absolutely. I think they might be from Glücklich. They're very.
Okay. Anyway, I'm curious, but has Olaf has he sold you on Bad Gastein? Are you sort of ready to commit the family to that flight to Salzburg and head for a long weekend or a week? And we didn't really talk, Olaf, about winter versus summer. Is it, again, universal appeal? Is one bigger than the other, or?
I think winter is more important at the moment, but I think summer has great potential. Yeah, this is so beautiful. You have we have so many waterfalls and water, and it's so green, and everything is fun. It's great in summer.
And are you also looking at operas and theatre productions?
Yeah, maybe like also something like to co-op with Salzburger Festspiele.
Perfect.
Would be great. Yeah.
But they just had an electro music festival, which is right up your street.
I think that everything is possible in Bad Gastein. So we have this electronic music festival over a weekend with dinners and parties everywhere. It was amazing. Yeah.
I'm sold on it.
Okay.
Kaiserschmarrn, Sacher. Is there any Sacher anywhere, please?
Yeah, I'm sure they
all the stereotypes.
We're in Austria. Okay, with that beautiful soundtrack behind us, Olaf Krone from Bad Gastein Tourism. It's very good seeing you. We're listening to Monocle on Sunday. It is just gone 10:51 here in St Moritz. I'm very happy to say as well, joining us alongside Nicolas Bellevance-Lecomte is here from Nomad. Nomad, literally, we can't quite see it, Nicolas. It's just hiding behind the Schweizerhof, but you've popped up again at the former Klinik Gut, which was a wonderful orthopedic hospital where I spent some time there, Juliet.
Did you?
Yeah. I had my knees done there, and I'm not sure who is in that. Whether it's Nilüfer or someone is in that. What was my former suite at anyway.
Oh, which artist is in there now?
Yeah. Anyway, good morning. Great to see you.
Good morning, Tyler.
Hello.
So tell us, here you are again, but also with Nomad as a much expanded franchise as well. You were recently out in Abu Dhabi. Everyone talking about this really incredible setup that you had at the airport. So, in a way, maybe tell us about the evolution of what Nomad has now become.
Yeah, let's say we're very happy to be back, obviously, in St Moritz for the 9th edition. As you said before, the Clinic Gut, it was probably not nearly far because it was the surgery room.
Oh, that's where they were, okay.
It was upstairs. But yeah, let's say about like since a year now, I think there was a new trajectory for Nomad. We definitely wanted to expand globally to, let's embody the concept of nomadism at the maximum of it, let's say. That's why we decided to expand to both the Middle East in Abu Dhabi and also to the Hamptons in the US. For the very first time, we will go there in June at the Watermill Center, the foundation of Bob Wilson.
And I'm curious, for those who are not familiar with what the Nomad franchise, if they've not, of course, visited you, if people were not to see your premiere edition out in Abu Dhabi this year, what do you bring together, and what is the thematic in terms of when you are looking to bring in dealers?
Mm-hmm. So Nomad is a sort of traveling showcase, a boutique fair that goes to different locations around the world, and the concept is really to bring a different experience than the usual fairs where one can go, let's say in big cities. It is definitely to create a unique experience in a specific architecture where there's a unique dialogue, between the artworks, design works, some jewelry as well. It becomes sort of eclectic showcase that engage with obviously the visitors and the gallerists who are present. Many artists, designers, architects are always there. So it becomes a sort of community, and it's this sense of community that we want to travel and to follow us, let's say, in all of the various destinations where we go.
So it started as a sort of an anti-fair, if you want, right? It was a sort of a bit of a rebellion. How much rebellion is still in it today? And also, I would love to be a fly on the wall when you're deciding how to match sort of the sites that you choose, like the abandoned clinic and so on, and how do you choose them, and who do you decide to match with what?
So, yeah, the anti-fair, let's say it is obviously... it was more, I think it was not really to be against the idea of the fair. I think it is a complementary experience somehow. It is a totally different way to experience art, design, and to interact actually with it because of the context and where we go. So I think as for your other question about the various venues that we choose and how we allocate also the various spaces to the various exhibitors, it is always quite a long process, and it's also the way to select. Also, it has to be very meaningful, the building where we go. It's also, there's a lot of it depends also on availability also locally. But for example, in Abu Dhabi, what was great is that right away we worked with DCT, the Department of Culture and Tourism, and the Modern Heritage Department. So for me, it was very important to valorize, let's say, the architecture from the 70s and 80s and to bring a new life to it, to Nomad. And I think it was something totally new for them, and they really embraced the experience fully. That's why I think it was part of the success. It was mostly the emotional engagement of the visitors, the way people were walking in telling me with goosebumps that they used to travel here for the past 40 years and they were rushing with the kids to the gate, and now it was filled with beautiful design pieces, and they enjoyed the experience and this unique way to meet their friends and to see this international interesting community of collectors. They met so many new friends also over there. So I think this sense of community is really unique. And also here at the Clinic Gut, maybe it wasn't the same type of goosebump, but there were also many people just like you, Tyler.
It's true, yeah, because it was the village clinic. I'm just before we go, how fixed is because of course as you said it is nomadic, but would you say with Hamptons coming up, Hamptons, St Moritz, and Abu Dhabi are the new fixed points for you, and then you appear elsewhere, but these sort of become the permanent, you would say?
Well, permanent is...
I know. It's a tough term.
For Nomad, it's maybe not the right terminology, but definitely I think we want to take a bit more time to explore destinations. I think definitely in Abu Dhabi and Hamptons, we are there for a cycle of at least 3 to 5 years. And we will always try, obviously, to engage into a new and different experience every year about what we will propose. We will also collaborate with Earth Hotel in Abu Dhabi. I don't know if you're familiar with the architecture, it's quite impressive. So it would be a new discovery alongside the airport, always part of this modern heritage, let's say, alignment we want to keep. And also here in St Moritz, we opened the doors of this fantastic apartment in the Haut Réduit building, where there's the Eco Paris, the original apartment from the 70s, that we had the chance to open here in St Moritz as a novelty this year, as well as the house of Mr. Giorgio Armani in La Punt, which was quite spectacular on Friday and very also special for many guests and part of the Nomad circle who discovered a home where Mr. Armani used to spend his holidays here in Engadine, and we had like a sort of salon moment and conversations, inviting different curators and art experts, let's say, to discuss the market at the moment. So I think all of these experiences are truly unique, and that's really what we want, to open different architectures.
Great, we're going to have to leave it there. Nicolas Bellavance-Lecomte from Nomad, great seeing you, and we'll see you somewhere else in the world. That's all the time we have.
We'll see you somewhere else in the world.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
Juliet, great co-anchoring with you up here as well. Our thanks also to Sina Margadant from the Engadiner Post, also to Marijana Jakic, Giorgio Pace, also Olaf Krone, and our producers Desiree Bandley today, Emma Nelson, Mariella Bevan. Our studio manager also was Desiree here in St Moritz. I'm Tyler Brûlé, and you are?
Juliet Linley. Thank you for joining us.
Bye-bye.